Morning, Buzz. How we doing?
Very well. How are you, Alex?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. So this week we have the grand opening of a grand film called Napoleon, which is Ridley Scott's latest, a big sprawling epic, and right up Sir Ridley Scott's street. Um, Joaquin Phoenix plays the title character, and it's just an impressive feast for the eyes in regards to the battle scenes. We're gonna quickly watch a clip, and then we'll come back with a quick review.
Yes, it's the fourth. Double up. Yes, you see how they all in.
Why are you staring at me?
Am I?
Yes?
I was not.
Oh, you weren't.
I was. I was staring at your face.
What is this costume you have on?
This is my uniform. I led the French victory at Toulon. Do not tell me your name.
There we go. There we go. So it's a classic. It looks like a Ridley Scott film, historical film. So, and what a director to put this piece together. To be honest, Napoleon. So basically, it's the film just covers a lot of his life with key moments in Napoleon's life. Starting with when he was a little gunner in the French Empire, and then his small battles to get where he was, and the big ones to get where he was. In summary, that's what it revolves around. But the biggest battle that he seems to be having is in the bedroom, in his love life. Because a good chunk of the film focuses on his relationship with Josephine, played by Vanessa Kirby, which is fantastic. I think she steals the show a little bit from Joaquin Phoenix in regards to acting. Josephine was a courtesan, which has a lot of weight on that on that name, because she has been with a lot of other men before she even met Napoleon, but is a very interesting character to look at, and the dynamics, or the lack of dynamics, between a man that is so powerful on the battlefield and in politics, and has very little power in his personal life, because he can't seem to control his emotions properly. It's just a contradiction that I enjoyed watching. What did you thought, Buzz?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. It was, I think, when we finished viewing the film after seeing it in IMAX, which was a real pleasure, wasn't it? We were kind of saying that it's hard to fit an entire man's life into 3 hours, but there was quite a good divide between the absolutely fantastic battle scenes, which were really intense and really got you stuck in there with the camera, didn't it? And showed you the gruesomeness of battle in those ages. But also, there was this kind of like huge chunk of the film that was portioned out for the semantics between him and Josephine, really, and her not being able to bear a child for him straight away. And the problems that would cause, because obviously he wanted an heir to the throne, didn't he? And so you have these kind of like this big battle with a relationship, as you say, Alex, and it gets a little bit tedious sometimes. It would be them having an argument across a big long dining table, and there's about 10 people in between them, and then he starts throwing food at her, So it was interesting to see that dynamic to him, and as you say, it's almost kind of like a lack of control from his point, because he can't control that really. He might be able to defeat 30,000 Austrian troops on the battlefield, but he can't decide what his own wife is doing in the bedroom.
And that's actually a good point, because the way he reacts to losing a battle in his personal life, in his marriage life, is very childish, and he's like he defaults back to this childish type of crazy, loopy, naughty little kid. He behaves like, he makes these sounds when he's up for sex, or he throws food, or he behaves literally, and then once he steps on the battlefield, he's ice cold, ruthless, and tactical genius, and he just doesn't flinch on the purpose of winning the battle. Is nothing like you've ever seen before, and obviously Joaquin Phoenix plays that fantastically, as you do.
Yeah, and what did you think to the script between Josephine and Napoleon? Because I thought it was almost a little bit awkward at times. I don't know whether that was done on purpose or not, but it was almost like Napoleon wasn't very good socially. He was a bit rigid.
Well, I think
but then he kind of opened
it reminded
up
me a little bit of.
bit.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of Caligula, which was a Roman emperor that was completely off his head. He was pretty insane, basically. I felt the script, I think the script, that part of the story, which is their story, Josephine and Napoleon, was underdeveloped. I wanted to see a bit more. I could see the issue between them, the contrast, like I said, that conflict between a courtesan survivor, literally, because she was a woman in those times who was just trying to survive by whatever means, and then this person that can have everything he wants except the power, or he can't control that one piece in his life, which is this woman. They do love each other, so there's an odd type of love, because they're both so different, and they're built differently. Like Napoleon said, I'm just not built like other men. But I wanted to see a bit more. I think that they balanced it more towards the battles than the.
Yeah, and he had this. What did you thought of? He had this kind of hungry thirst to go to war, didn't he? It seemed, although in the film it was kind of made out that he was, he was a kind of spokesperson for peace. Really, but it kind of ironically, as soon as he offered peace to the English about halfway through the film, and they declined it, he was like, right, well, we're going to run into England and make sure that we turn every Englishman to ashes, essentially. So there's this kind of weird thing of, is he a bastion of peace, or is he just some war tyrant? You don't really know, but whatever he was good on the battlefield, wasn't he? And there's some interesting statistics towards the end of the film, isn't there, about how many people actually died in the battles that he waged. It's in the millions, isn't it? So obviously there's a few of his crusades that maybe didn't make him look very good, but he's definitely, there's a reason why he's in the history books for what he did for France.
Correct. And actually the battle scenes are not, they are epic because of the scale and obviously the environments and all of that stuff, but they're not heroic. I didn't felt like they're heroic at all. There's no gladiator style one person hero that goes in and smashes and slashes in all direction. Actually, Napoleon was pretty crap on the battlefield himself, as at actually, melee type of fight instead of conducting the whole operation.
And also the first
and none
battle
of those
in the film. Sorry, just I was going to say, the first battle in the film, when they take back that port from the English, is it Toulon, the French town? They take back the port, and just before the battle is being engaged, you can see actually how nervous Joaquin Phoenix makes Napoleon. He's breathing heavy, he's looking around, he's very jittery. So as you say, the character's not perceived as some cold-hearted war villain. Well, not at the start of the film anyway. You can actually see the fear in his eyes, what he's about to do, and then and he does get stuck in as well. He doesn't just stay on the sidelines. I think that's why the troops probably liked him, because he does involve himself in the huge scale battle, doesn't he?
He was. Well, that always worked on his favor, because when later down in his life, when he needed troops, they all rallied behind him.
Yeah.
But what a film. Ridley Scott, obviously inspired by Kubrick's attempt to do Napoleon in his lifetime. Failed attempt. There's a little bit of a story there, which is awesome, about Kubrick trying to make Napoleon, and he had a script for a 6-hour film or something like that, intense like that, but never managed to do it. Ridley Scott delivers it very well. It's not based on Kubrick's script, but it's the same sort of lifespan that this film covers. I was well impressed with this, and if there is a 4-cut director's cut for our film coming out on Apple TV, on Apple TV Plus on the subscription, I'm definitely up for that.
Yeah,
watch
I think that
and
might be
return to.
patiently paced as well, that one, because you could definitely fit a lot more detail in that extra hour, couldn't you?
Absolutely, yeah. So the full review, written review, will also be on our website, kelaruandfulton.com. But this is in cinemas at the moment. What a fantastic trip! Absolutely worth it. And I mean, who gets to do these type of epic films anymore these days? Because budgets of 200 million for a war epic are not easy to find, and only directors like the 85-year-old Ridley Scott can still do it with that much energy at his age. Is unbelievably impressive, to be honest. It's
really
crazy.
Fantastic, yeah. And what a pleasure to watch in the IMAX as well, eh?
Absolutely,
really
absolutely,
brilliant.
yeah. That was a good choice. Okay, sir. Thank you for that, and I shall speak to you next week.
Yeah, see you next week, Alex. Take care.
See you later. Bye.